Imagine eating something every single morning that quietly inflames your joints, spikes your blood sugar, and speeds up aging, and no one ever warned you. If you're over 60, the type of bread on your plate could be helping you stay strong, or slowly breaking your body down. For most of our lives, bread felt simple. It was comfort food, toast in the morning, sandwich at lunch, something warm and familiar that never seemed dangerous. But after 60, your body processes food very differently. Your digestion slows. Your insulin response weakens. Low-grade inflammation becomes easier to trigger and harder to calm down. And this is where bread quietly becomes a problem or a powerful ally. Here's the truth most people never hear. It's not bread itself that's the enemy. It's the wrong bread. Some types of bread act almost like sugar once they hit your system. They raise blood glucose faster than candy, feed inflammation, worsen belly fat, and strain your heart and joints. Others do the opposite. They support gut health, steady blood sugar, reduce cravings, and even help maintain muscle and brain function as you age. Let's start with the breads that can damage your body after 60, because once you recognize them, you'll never look at the bread aisle the same way again. The first is white bread, made from refined flour. This is the most common bread in homes around the world, and also one of the most harmful for aging bodies. Refined white flour has been stripped of fiber, vitamins, and minerals. What's left is a fast-digesting starch that quickly turns into glucose in your bloodstream. After 60, this rapid spike forces your pancreas to work harder, increases insulin resistance, and promotes fat storage, especially around the abdomen. That belly fat isn't just cosmetic, releases inflammatory chemicals that increase the risk of heart disease, joint pain, and cognitive decline. White bread also offers almost no satiety. You eat it, feel full for a short time, and then hunger comes roaring back. That leads to overeating, blood sugar crashes, and fatigue. Many seniors think they're just low energy, when in reality, their breakfast toast is setting them up for exhaustion by mid-morning. The second damaging bread is commercially produced wheat bread that sounds healthy but isn't. Words like multi-grain, wheat, or made with whole grains on the label can be incredibly misleading. Many of these breads still use refined flour as the main ingredient, with just a small amount of whole grain added for color and marketing. They often contain added sugars, vegetable oils, and preservatives that increase inflammation and disrupt gut bacteria. Your gut plays a massive role in aging, influences immunity, mood, nutrient absorption, and even memory. After 60, the gut lining becomes more sensitive. Highly processed breads can irritate it, leading to bloating, constipation, and chronic low-grade inflammation that spreads throughout the body. The third bread to be careful with is sweetened bread, including many breakfast breads, rolls, and packaged buns. If the ingredient list includes sugar, high fructose, corn syrup, honey, molasses, or syrups, that bread is acting more like dessert than nourishment. Excess sugar accelerates glycation, a process where sugar binds to proteins and damages tissues. This contributes to stiff arteries, wrinkled skin, joint pain, and slower healing. For seniors, frequent sugar spikes also increase the risk of type 2 diabetes. Even if blood sugar levels were normal earlier in life, the body simply doesn't bounce back the same way it once did. The fourth damaging bread is ultra-soft, long shelf-life bread. If bread stays soft for weeks without molding, that's a red flag. These products rely on chemical dough conditioners, emulsifiers, and preservatives that interfere with digestion and may disrupt metabolic health. Some of these additives have been linked to changes in gut bacteria that promote inflammation and weight gain. Over time, this can worsen arthritis symptoms, raise blood pressure, and increase cardiovascular risk. Now here's the part most people find surprising. When you remove or reduce these breads, many seniors report less bloating within days, more stable energy, better digestion, and even reduced joint stiffness. It's not magic, it's biology finally getting a break, but avoiding harmful bread is only half the story. The real transformation happens when you replace it with bread that actually supports healthy aging. There are breads that digest slowly, feed beneficial gut bacteria, stabilize blood sugar, and provide nutrients your body desperately needs after 60. These breads don't just avoid harm, they actively help your body function better. The first supportive bread is true whole grain bread, made from 100% whole grains, not refined flour. When the entire grain is intact, you get fiber, B vitamins, magnesium, and antioxidants. Fiber slows digestion, preventing blood sugar spikes and keeping you full longer. This helps control appetite, protect the heart, and reduce inflammation. Whole grain bread also supports bowel regularity, something many seniors struggle with but rarely talk about. A healthy digestive system improves nutrient absorption, which becomes more important as appetite naturally declines with age. Another powerful option is sprouted grain bread. Sprouting changes the structure of the grain, making nutrients more available and easier to digest. These breads often contain higher levels of protein and lower glycemic impact compared to regular bread. Many people who feel heavy or sluggish after eating bread tolerate sprouted grain bread much better. Sprouted grains can also support muscle maintenance, which is critical after 60. Muscle loss accelerates aging, increases fall risk, and reduces independence. Protein-rich, nutrient-dense bread can help slow that process when combined with movement. Then there's sourdough bread made through traditional fermentation. Real sourdough isn't just a flavor preference, it's a metabolic advantage. Fermentation breaks down some of the starch and gluten, making the bread easier on digestion and gentler on blood sugar. It also produces organic acids that improve mineral absorption, especially calcium and magnesium, which support bone health. For seniors concerned about bloating or mild gluten sensitivity, properly fermented sourdough can be a game changer. Finally, breads made with seeds and ancient grains offer another layer of support. Seeds like flax, chia, and sunflower provide healthy fats that reduce inflammation and support brain health. Ancient grains tend to be less processed and more nutrient-dense than modern wheat. When you choose bread that works with your body instead of against it, something shifts. Meals become more satisfying, energy steadies, cravings lessen, and aging doesn't feel like such a constant uphill battle. In the next part, I'll explain exactly how to read bread labels without getting tricked. How much bread is actually safe to eat after 60, and when even healthy bread might not be the right choice for your body. Understanding which bread supports healthy aging isn't just about choosing the right type. It's also about knowing how to read labels, how much is appropriate after 60, and when even good bread can quietly become too much. The bread aisle is designed to confuse you. Bright packaging, words like natural, artisan, or healthy, and pictures of grains can create a false sense of security. The single most important place to look is the ingredient list, not the front of the package. If the first ingredient is anything other than whole grain, or the specific whole grain itself, like whole wheat, whole rye, or whole oats, that bread is primarily refined. If you see enriched flour, wheat flour, or bleached flour at the top, your body will process that bread more like sugar than nourishment. Another key detail many people miss is fiber. After 60, fiber isn't optional, it's essential. Supportive bread should have at least 3 grams of fiber per slice. Fiber slows digestion, feeds good gut bacteria, and helps regulate cholesterol. When fiber is low, blood sugar rises faster, inflammation increases, and hunger returns sooner. That's why some people feel tired or shaky after eating bread, even when they've had enough calories. Sugar is another hidden issue. Many breads contain added sugars to improve taste and shelf life. Even small amounts add up quickly when bread is eaten daily. Look for breads with 0 added sugar whenever possible. Your taste buds will adapt, and your body will thank you with more stable energy and fewer cravings. Now let's talk about portion size. Because even healthy bread can cause problems if eaten the same way you did at 30 or 40 as we age. Our metabolism naturally slows, and our insulin sensitivity decreases. That means large portions of carbohydrates, even good ones, can still overwhelm the system. For most people over 60, one slice at a meal is often enough, especially when paired with protein and healthy fat. Adding eggs, yogurt, nut butter, fish, or olive oil helps slow digestion and keeps blood sugar steady. Timing also matters more than most people realize. Bread is generally better tolerated earlier in the day, when insulin sensitivity is higher and you're more active. Eating multiple slices at night, especially with little movement afterward, increases the chance of blood sugar staying elevated for hours. Over time, that contributes to weight gain, poor sleep, and higher cardiovascular risk. Some seniors notice that even high-quality bread still causes bloating or joint stiffness. This doesn't mean you're doing something wrong. It simply means your body's tolerance has changed. Aging digestion produces fewer enzymes, and the gut lining becomes more sensitive. In these cases, rotating bread rather than eating it daily can make a big difference. Having bread a few times a week instead of every day often reduces symptoms without requiring full elimination. It's also important to understand how bread interacts with inflammation. Chronic inflammation is one of the main drivers of aging-related diseases, from arthritis to heart disease to cognitive decline. Highly processed breads increase inflammatory markers, while fiber-rich fermented breads tend to lower them. When seniors switch from refined bread to fermented or whole grain options, many report less morning stiffness, fewer digestive complaints, and more consistent energy throughout the day. There's also a psychological side to bread that matters. Bread is comforting. It's tied to routine, memory, and culture. Completely removing it can feel restrictive and stressful, which isn't healthy either. The goal after 60 is imperfection. It's intelligent balance. Choosing bread that supports your body allows you to enjoy familiar foods without paying for it with pain, fatigue, or metabolic damage. One of the most overlooked benefits of better bread choices is improved nutrient absorption. Whole grains and fermented breads help your body absorb minerals like iron, magnesium, and zinc more efficiently. These minerals play key roles in muscle function, immune defense, bone strength, and even mood stability. When absorption improves, many seniors notice fewer cramps, better balance, and stronger overall resilience. Another subtle but powerful effect involves brain health. Blood sugar spikes and crashes don't just affect energy levels. They affect memory and focus. Stable glucose supply supports clearer thinking and reduces the risk of long-term cognitive decline. When bread is chosen wisely and eaten in moderation, it becomes part of a brain-supportive diet rather than a silent threat. In the next part, I'll break down specific examples of what a bread-friendly day might look like after 60, how to combine bread with other foods to reduce its impact, and the warning signs that your body is asking you to cut back even more. Let's walk through what bread can realistically look like in a day that supports healthy aging without feeling restrictive or confusing. Imagine starting your morning with a slice of real whole grain or sprouted grain bread. It's toasted lightly paired with protein. This might be eggs, cottage cheese, Greek yogurt, or even nut butter with seeds. That combination slows digestion, keeps blood sugar steady, and provides the amino acids your muscles need to stay strong. Instead of feeling hungry again an hour later, you stay satisfied and mentally sharp well into the morning. At lunch, many seniors find they don't even need bread once they've had a nourishing breakfast. If bread is included, it works best as a small supporting role rather than the centerpiece of the meal. One slice alongside vegetables, legumes, fish, or lean meat helps avoid the heavy, sleepy feeling that often follows a carb-heavy lunch. This is especially important because afternoon energy crashes increase fall risk and reduce motivation to stay active. By dinner, bread becomes the most questionable choice for many people over 60. Digestion slows in the evening, and insulin sensitivity is lower. This is when even good bread can linger in the bloodstream longer than it should. If bread is eaten at night, keeping it minimal and pairing it with fiber and protein becomes even more important. Many people notice better sleep and less morning stiffness when they reduce or skip bread at dinner altogether. Now let's talk about the signals your body gives when bread isn't serving you well, even if it's technically healthy. Bloating, gas, and abdominal discomfort within a few hours are common signs. Joint stiffness the next morning, unexplained fatigue, or feeling mentally foggy after meals can also be clues. These symptoms don't mean you need to fear food. They simply mean your digestive and metabolic systems are asking for less load. Weight gain around the midsection is another important signal. After 60, abdominal fat is strongly linked to inflammation and cardiovascular risk. If bread is eaten daily and the waistline slowly expands despite normal calorie intake, reducing frequency or portion size often reverses the trend. Some seniors also notice changes in skin health. High glycemic foods accelerate collagen breakdown, contributing to thinner, more fragile skin. When refined breads are replaced with fiber-rich options, skin often becomes less dry and heals more quickly, an effect many people don't expect. It's also worth addressing gluten concerns without fear or exaggeration. True gluten intolerance is uncommon, but age-related sensitivity is more frequent. This sensitivity often has more to do with processing methods than gluten itself. Highly refined breads with additives tend to cause more issues than traditionally prepared breads like sourdough. Many people who believe they can eat bread anymore discover they tolerate fermented or sprouted bread just fine. One powerful strategy is rotation. Instead of eating the same bread every day, alternate between different high-quality options or take bread-free days. This reduces digestive strain and increases dietary diversity, which supports a healthier gut microbiome. A diverse gut is associated with better immunity, lower inflammation, and improved metabolic health in older adults. Hydration also plays a role that's rarely mentioned. Fiber-rich bread needs water to move smoothly through the digestive system. Without adequate hydration, even good bread can contribute to constipation. Simply increasing water intake often resolves issues that people blame on food alone. There's also a social and emotional side to this conversation. Bread is often shared at family meals, social gatherings, and cultural events. Feeling anxious about food can reduce enjoyment and quality of life. Understanding which breads to choose and how to eat them allows you to participate fully without discomfort or regret afterward. As people make these adjustments, many report a surprising shift. Cravings for sweets decrease. Energy becomes more predictable. Movement feels easier. Small aches and pains that were dismissed as just aging become less intense. This doesn't happen overnight, but it often begins within a few weeks. In the final part, I'll tie everything together. Explain the simple mindset shift that makes these changes sustainable, and show how bread can either accelerate aging or quietly support a longer, stronger life depending on how you use it. The key mindset shift after 60 is understanding that bread isn't inherently good or bad a tool. How you choose, portion, and combine it determines whether it accelerates aging or supports your health. Once you accept that, you stop seeing bread as a forbidden indulgence and start seeing it as an ally in maintaining energy, strength, and longevity. One practical rule to live by is quality over quantity. Choose one or two high-quality breads that you enjoy, whether it's sprouted grain, it's true whole grain, sourdough, or seeded ancient grains. Make them the foundation for meals that also include protein, healthy fats, and plenty of vegetables. This simple combination stabilizes blood sugar, supports muscle and bone health, and helps reduce inflammation, all of which become increasingly important after 60. Another tip is to plan meals around your body's rhythm. Start the day with a nutrient-rich slice of bread and protein. Keep lunch moderate and either reduce or skip bread at dinner. This aligns with natural insulin cycles and allows your body to process carbohydrates efficiently rather than storing them as fat or triggering inflammation. It's also critical to pay attention to your body's feedback. If bloating, fatigue, or joint discomfort appear, consider switching the type of bread, reducing portion size, or spacing out your bread consumption across the week. Many seniors find that even small adjustments like swapping white bread for sprouted or sourdough produce significant improvements in energy, digestion, and joint comfort. Pairing bread with anti-inflammatory foods amplifies its benefits. Topping bread with avocado, seeds, olive oil, or nut butter not only adds flavor but also healthy fats that counteract blood sugar spikes. Adding vegetables like tomatoes, leafy greens, or cucumbers increases fiber, antioxidants, and hydration, all of which support the body's repair systems and cardiovascular health. Beyond food, movement matters. Walking after meals, even a short 10 to 15-minute stroll, helps regulate blood sugar and digestion. Seniors who combine smarter bread choices with light physical activity often notice improved energy, better weight management, and reduced stiffness effects that truly reinforce healthy aging. Finally, remember that small, consistent changes are more effective than drastic, short-term restrictions. Removing harmful breads, introducing supportive options, watching portions, pairing meals wisely, and listening to your body creates a sustainable long-term approach. Over weeks and months, this strategy can reduce inflammation, stabilize energy, support brain function, and protect heart and joint health. By choosing breads that nourish rather than harm, you reclaim a simple pleasure bread while turning it into a tool that actively supports your health after. 60 aging docent have to mean giving up favorite foods? It means making smarter choices that let your body thrive, not just survive. At the end of the day, the breads you choose after 60 can either work for you or against you. The refined, sugary, overly processed options quietly trigger inflammation, blood sugar spikes, and joint stress, accelerating the signs of aging you'd rather avoid. On the other hand, carefully selected whole grains, sprouted breads, sourdough, and seed-based options nourish your body, stabilize energy, support digestion, protect your heart, and even help maintain brain and muscle health. The choice doesn't have to feel restrictive. By reading labels carefully, watching portion sizes, pairing bread with protein and healthy fats, and listening to your body, you can enjoy bread without guilt or discomfort. Small, consistent changes, like swapping white bread for sprouted grain or sourdough, can create a ripple effect, improving energy, reducing inflammation, and supporting independence for years to come. Bread becomes more than just food. It becomes a tool to age smarter, maintain vitality, and feel stronger every day. After 60, it's not about giving up what you love. It's about making your favorite foods work for you instead of against you. Start making these smarter bread choices today and give your body the support it deserves to thrive in the years ahead.